All right, welcome back, folks. So President Biden, he put this meeting with Putin on this 2-hour virtual call earlier this week where they discussed a multitude of issues, including the rising tensions along the Ukraine border. Now, after their meeting, the commander-in-chief, our commander-in-chief, is, threatened the Kremlin. Look at this.
The meeting with Putin, I was very straightforward. There were no minced words. It was polite, but I made it very clear. If, in fact, he invades Ukraine, there will be severe consequences. Severe consequences. Economic consequences like none he's ever seen or ever have been seen in terms of being imposed.
Right. So this is the first time in his presidency that Joe Biden was clear about anything. But joining us now is retired Major General Michael McGuire. General, thank you very much for joining us on this very important topic. Now, get right to this. This is a big deal, and I don't think the American people understand how impactful this is, because if Russia does what they want and we put in economic sanctions, there's no immediate effect on Russia. Is this the precursor for a potential global conflict?
Well, good morning, Carl. Thanks for having me. Unfortunately, I think that all of the maligned actors in the world are exploiting the weakness of the Biden administration. Think about the statement you just made there, where there's rising tension on the Ukraine border with Russia. I would tell you right now, Carl, there's rising tension in Arizona on the border with Mexico, with the 2 million people crossing. And I find his words to be hollow. And that's what makes me nervous. As a former military commanding general, and you served as a Navy SEAL, we have every capability in the world at our disposal. But the problem is, if we don't have the political will of the people and we don't have great leaders leading the organization, we put ourselves on defense from the jump, Carl. So I think China and Russia are seeing this happen. They're seeing the lawlessness in our cities. And they say these guys think that they're going to roll over here into Ukraine and stop us. I think they're going to exploit the weakness.
Yeah. Well, here's another thing is, people didn't mess with Trump because he was like, look, I'm going to walk into North Korea and say what's up to Kim Jong-il or Un. And then, but he also does things like drop the most powerful non-nuclear explosive in Afghanistan to show like, hey guys, do not mess with me or I will do things that you can't dream of. Now, we had a U.S. senator. Now, I think this is a little out there, but he said don't rule out nuclear options. I think nuclear war is no-go. I mean, I've been to war. I think it's bad. I've never seen nuclear war. However, the notion that Putin sees somebody in a senior position in America saying we're not going to rule out nuclear options, is that the type of, dare I say, crazy that we need to see in order to maybe keep him in line?
Well, I saw the comments that Senator Wicker made, and as you know, Carl, I'm running to be the 51st vote as a constitutional conservative Republican in the Senate. I think that rhetoric, I much prefer to speak softly and carry a big stick. I don't think a first strike option is a real thing right there. I do think there is some hyperbole in his statements, but I will tell you that most importantly, if you cannot conscript the political will of the United States people and explain to the people what our objectives are, how we are going to accomplish those objectives, and what our interests are, you have no business putting American lives in harm's way.
I think you make a really good point there, sir, in the fact that, like, the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, the troops didn't lose that. The government lost the PR war to get the support to stay in there and actually fight the war to win, rather we just nation built. So I got about a minute left. Do you think, in your mind, if they invade Ukraine, U.S. or even now Germany is going to step up and actually have a physical conflict with Russia?
I don't know what Europe will do. I think the United States will hopefully act on their promise to provide support to the Ukraine, military support, equipment that Obama was not willing to provide back during the Crimea invasion. But I do not see us putting American troops on the ground in the Ukraine unless President Biden shows that he's serious about leading, securing our own nation before we start securing every other nation in the world.
Yeah. Well, former General Michael McGuire, also U.S. Senate candidate. We appreciate you joining us this morning, sir.
Thanks, Carl. Have a great day. God bless you.
You too.